Here's the issue, Mark. You and I are aging, and that it's hard to stop that.
Nope,
you know
it's
what I mean?
problematic.
So we can't do the things like we used to do, which is like, stay up late at the bar, then go get a burrito, and then wake up 4 hours later, and everything's fine. We need something. How about this, Mark? How about what I've been using? Terra Origin. Because adulthood, it's hitting hard. We're dealing with it. Middle-aged guys. My knees hurt. I hurt my wrist the other day. I punched a door. Shouldn't have done that. And now my wrist hurts. This is stuff that wasn't happening when I was young. So this is where Terra Origin comes in. Are you curious why I punched the door?
Yeah, I was going to say that's a different conversation, but if you've got Terra Origin, I'm sure that you're going to be able to get your way out of that mess.
Aaron Judge grounded into a double play. Anyway, Terra Origin makes science-backed, clean supplements designed to help men perform better, recover faster, and feel good every single day. They make smart, no BS supplements that actually help you feel human again, and that's why. This is the product that you need. The best part about Terra Origin, no fluff, no fads, just premium, transparent formulas you can trust. It's like upgrading your daily routine from survive to thrive. So whether you're lifting, leading, grinding, or parenting, Terra Origin helps you show up at your best. Visit TerraOrigin.com and use the code PODCAST for 30% off your first order and free shipping. That's TerraOrigin.com. Terra Origin. Feel better from the inside out.
Holiday PSA from DSW. This is your reminder that shoes are a gift, literally. So unwrap something good, like boots that inspire your next big adventure. Or cozy slippers that give you an excuse to stay in. Or sneakers that feel like pure joy. Because shoes aren't just shoes, they're exactly what you wanted. Let us surprise you, so you can surprise them. Find shoes that get you, and everyone on your list, at prices that get your budget. At DSW stores, or DSW.com.
Hey, Cessy.
Yes.
Monday night. You know what that means. We're going to talk about a big Cowboys win in primetime, big losses to the Bengals and Falcons for different reasons. And yes, you know you're waiting for it, the return of the Heed the Call Power Rankings.
The Dan Hanzus shout out.
Well, thank you, Paul Rudd. Let's go. Hey-o. Welcome to Heed the Call, an NFL podcast, the Monday night edition. Dan Hanzus here with Marc Sessler, Justin Graver on the ones and twos. Hi, Sessy.
How are you? You've been out. You've traveled across the country. You're out east. It's been a trek. It's been a journey, I would imagine.
I have a early morning flight back to Los Angeles tomorrow morning. I have now moved from the Tony apartment penthouse in Manhattan to a gritty Williamsburg neighborhood of Brooklyn apartment filled with artists. As you can see behind me, there are many guitars, none of which I could play beyond the opening chords of Glycerine by Bush.
Well, that alone is a talent. But you've gone into a bohemian grove of some sort, and I applaud you for that. But we want you back in LA at some point, and I think that wrapping the show would get you closer to the airplane, the airport, the travel.
Yes, I've had a great time here in New York, but I guess it will give you some peace because you had concerns earlier in my stay about whether I would come home. Yes, I miss my children. I miss my wife. I miss my dog. I won't even put in an order like where everybody comes down on that. I miss
reverse order.
Yeah, I miss the comforts of my quasi urban suburban experience in my adopted hometown in California. So I'm ready to come home, but it's been great to spend time with my brother, Kevin, my bosom buddy, Bob. Saw a bunch of friends, ate some steak, listened to music, played a bunch of pool, and yes, recorded a bunch of podcasts. So
you did.
We're going to do one
more.
You
worked hard during it.
We're going to do one more, and it's going to be a show where we unveil the latest power rankings. We're also going to dig into some big news involving quarterbacks whose seasons are in peril, a big suspension, Maybe not in terms of affecting the Super Bowl chase, but certainly your fantasy team potentially. We'll get to that. But first, let's talk about Monday Night Football, Ceci, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
All right, let's get into it. It was in Las Vegas. I mean, what a disgrace. I've already done my rant, by the way, on one of the great brands, Cessdog, the Raiders.
Yeah.
And it's Cowboys desert, on Monday Night Football. Stadium filled with Dallas fans, and they got a lot. They got what they came for. Cowboys win 33-16. Dak Prescott, 25 of 33, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Just, when Dak gets locked in, it's really a lot of fun to watch. He's just such a great quarterback, and it helps when you have CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, who I believe, why don't we start here, Mark? I believe there's a strong case to be made, but that is the best 1-2 punch in football right now. And as much as we want to dismiss the Cowboys as a team to really take seriously at 4-5-1, and with those 3 central players in Dak, Lamb, Pickens, they can give a lot of teams a hard time and hang around in this playoff race. And they stomped a very bad Raiders team tonight.
They did. It's an interesting convo because they've only been together, for this autumn. And they look like they could be the best. I mean, there's T. Higgins and Jamar Chase too, but that depends on the quarterback being available. Pickens to me feels like such a Jerry Jones player. Like, I thought Troy Aikman had an interesting comment tonight. It involves George Pickens. It involves Quinnen Williams. It involves Kenny Clark. That Jerry Jones is the eternal optimist, that no matter what the record is, he believes they're going to make the playoffs. And he's made these moves. And I kind of watched their defense. I know you're playing the Raiders, so it's not an acid test, but they just look different tonight. But Pickens, man, we saw it with the Steelers in spurts. And he was dominant tonight. Now, him and CeeDee Lamb we don't know exactly the reason yet. We probably will very soon. They were held out of the first series for disciplinary reasons, which speaks to me about Brian Schottenheimer, who I think has done a really good job with, if you think about what's happened, Marshawn Nealon, tragically passes away. He keeps them together during their bye week. Quinnen Williams comes in, has 1.5 sacks tonight. They just feel like a little bit kind of okay, the Cowboys might be one of these weird teams that does a little bit of a trick down the stretch here and becomes a factor. I mean, they feel like they've got a little spice to them, and it's hard not to believe in some of the players that are on both sides of the ball. I don't want to overstate it. It's the Raiders, but they're just a weird team.
I don't think they're weird. I think.
Well, that's my word.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what your version of weird is. I think we know who they are. They have great offensive talent. They have a head coach and play caller in Brian Schottenheimer that I think has exceeded expectations of many, including my own. But they can't play any defense. Now, the Quinnen Williams. And a stunner that a guy gets traded from the Jets and then has his best game of the year.
Right.
Not surprising.
An annoyance to you while you're literally in Jets territory.
No, but I legitimately like that guy, and he wasn't part of the Jets' future. And I'm rooting for him. So I was happy to see him play well, and he's a big lift to that defensive line that needed it. And they got reinforcements in really on all 3 levels of their defense as well. So it's better. It is a better defense. When we were talking about that trade that they made, and they got killed for giving up a first and a second to get Quinn. And it's and even Troy Aikman on Monday Night Football was this team is not one trade away. Sure. Okay. But the goal here is to make a run. The goal here for Jerry Jones and the Cowboys is to win the 9 or 10 games that gets them into the playoffs. And then, whatever happens, happens. So they're willing to roll the dice and maybe under perhaps the mistaken impression that they get hot in January, when maybe the best case scenario here, Ceci, really is that they sneak in the back door of the playoffs and they get absolutely blasted in the first round. I think we could all see it, but let's not be mean to them. But let's also be real, Mark. They sure did look good against the Raiders, who are hideous, poorly run, talent poor Max Crosby on that one blown assignment on 4th and goal when they hit Jake Ferguson for the touchdown. Ferguson goes uncovered. This is one of the breakout tight ends in the league. Crosby spins his head around and sees that nobody picked up Ferguson. And you could tell he's like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like,
right.
Why am I here? You are unserious. And we could talk a little bit more about that later. But the next 3 games for the Cowboys, there's going to be a lot of reality, I think, Mark, because they have home Eagles, home Chiefs. I think that's Thanksgiving night or Thanksgiving afternoon. And then at Detroit. Jesus, Thursday Night Football.
That is your medicine.
So here's the goal, I guess. And if you're a Cowboys fan listening to tonight's show, first of all, congratulations. That was a fun game. We got to win one of those games. You got to find a way not to get swept, and that's your season. So you don't need to win them all. You might not even need to win more than one, but you can't lose all 3. Can this team do that? We'll see.
I don't want to seem overly optimistic about the Cowboys is a wrong way to go in general, but tonight I thought they looked like a different type of team to me against a very bad opponent. That may be the crucible that ends them though. That 3-game stretch, that's really rough. I think what I'm wondering, when you get Williams and you get Kenny Clark, are they trying to build themselves, if they are even focused enough on this, to beat a team like the Eagles, to beat a ground-heavy, offensive line dominant type team? Like, maybe that's what they're trying to do. It's hard to do that on the fly. I think that within 3 weeks, it feels like we could be talking about a team that is focusing on next year. So I'm going to reserve my over-optimism. In fact, I almost retract it from earlier in the episode here.
Well, I don't like when
I just thought it was a nice
you
win
take a stand and stick with it, Mark. Say the Cowboys are weird. You know what would be weird if the Cowboys
are weird to me.
If they win, they're not going to be weird though to me until they do something weird, which is do something unexpected, like win 2 of 3 over the next 3 weeks. That would be kind of weird.
I think they could beat the Chiefs. I just feel like that could be the one that they snatch. I just kind of feel it like the Chiefs are also weird, right? Is that
don't say snatch like that. I didn't like how you said that.
I apologize.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Yeah, Pete Carroll. I don't remember where we had him on the hot butt rankings, but it probably.
Does he want to do this? Does he feel like he wants to be here?
That's the one thing I feel Pete loves it. I mean, Pete lives for this, and I think it would be unfair not to give him more than 1 year, but they're not making any progress right now. This just seems to be a team like kind of just stuck in mud. And, again, like if you're going to pick Ashton Genty, if you're going to take a running back top 10 in the draft, you got to give him the ball. He had 2 carries in the first half of this game. They have Geno Smith, who's been, a bottom 12 quarterback all year, just slinging it over and over and over again. And it's just like, I struggle with it. Then they're cutting upstairs to Mark Davis. And I feel like I'm getting flashbacks of all the Super Bowls where we would walk by the hotel bar of the league hotel and Mark Davis would be wearing this exact same white long sleeve t-shirt, white, like, Levi's jeans, or not even Levi's, it's probably Wrangler jeans, white sneakers with a bunch of women, like young women that are half his age. Like they cut to him, it's like, what is going on with this team?
It's like here's the hot news update. Women like billionaires.
I don't even think he is though. Isn't he like one of the poorest owners?
I don't know, just like a fringe billionaire.
He's got more money than us.
They're directionless. And I think part of it is like if Pete Carroll stays, and I think he doesn't want to go out this way, Chip Kelly is the one that is out of here. Like whatever innovative tactics we thought we could attach to Chip Kelly are gone. Geno Smith throws the ball 42 times tonight. They run the ball for 27 yards. Like, isn't that completely opposite of what we thought? Like what we thought the identity would be going into this year with this rookie running back? Like, they're a failed product.
Hey.
They have no identity. I can't remember a lot of Pete Carroll teams with no identity.
Mark, Justin has some breaking news. You okay with us bringing him in here?
Absolutely, if it's truly breaking news.
I don't know if it's breaking news, but you guys were wondering who is in this photo with Mark Davis, and the woman who's named, if you're watching on YouTube, there at this on the screen, Cindy Blackman Santana. Joe Buck said during the broadcast that she plays the drums for the Monday Night Football intro, unless I misheard him. If so, correct me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
Yeah, and if you're starting to type a correction and you're like, this is kind of annoying to do, don't worry about it. We're cool. Let's see. Let's check in, Mark. To your point, where's Pete Carroll's enthusiasm left at? Let's see how he's chewing his gum during his halftime interview when he was asked about adjustments that need to be made in a game that had already spun out of control.
Pete, how can your offense continue to climb back in this thing, getting the ball to start the second half?
Yeah, we have a lot of things we have to do better. Both sides of the ball, we got to stop them on defense. I'm really surprised we're struggling as much as we have so far. We just got to finish these drives off. We've been down there for 3 times for touchdowns. We got to do something with that.
What specific adjustments do you want to see on defense?
Well, it always starts with the running game. They're getting it done with number 3. You know, he's been wide open a couple times. We just saw some stuff that we thought we would get him. So we just got to clean things up and tighten down, see if we can give ourselves a chance to get back in it.
He's kind of messing with Laura Rutledge. When she asked about the offense, he talked defense. When she asked about the defense, he talked about the offense.
Right.
I guess to put a bow on this, yes, the Raiders have no home field advantage anymore. They have no real identity. And they're a team that's clearly in need of a rebuild from the studs. And they have the oldest coach in the NFL. Something just doesn't quite seem lined up here, I guess.
It's an odd household.
I mean, and then you look at the owner. Just look at him. Like, the whole thing is a little weird with the Raiders, and it feels like it's been that way for a long time. I wonder if Mark still, I keep calling him Al. He ain't Al Davis. No. I wonder if Mark still cuts his own hair. I don't know.
I'm hoping I hope this Mark, me, by year 3 of this show, that will be my haircut. I think that would serve us well, broadcast-wise. So
it would give you a little bit of an edge. There's no doubt about that. All right.
Not sure in what direction, but yes.
There you go. Monday Night Football, and that's Week 11 in the books. Let's take a break, and when we get back, we're going to hit the news, then the power rankings.
Okay, if you're tired of paying fees just to access your own money, right? It might be time to switch things up with Chime. Chime is changing the way people think about banking by keeping things simple, transparent, and focused on helping you make real financial progress.
Mark, you're a rundown guy, so I'm going to give you a rundown.
Cool.
Let me tell you how Chime works. I set up my direct deposit through Chime, and now I can get paid up to 2 days early. I have fee-free overdraft coverage, and now I can open up a checking account with no monthly or maintenance fees. I set up alerts in my Chime app to give daily balance updates and real-time transaction alerts, which really helps me control my impulse spending, my therapist says.
Yeah, that has been a problem for you. Chime is banking that actually works for you, not against you. Chime also gives you access to over 47,000 fee-free ATMs, more than the top 3 national banks combined. And with qualifying direct deposits, you're eligible for free overdraft up to $200 on debit card purchases and cash withdrawals. So far, Chime has spotted members over $30 billion, helping millions keep more of their hard-earned money, Dan.
Work on your financial goals through Chime today. Open an account in 2 minutes at chime.com/HTC. That's chime.com/HTC. Chime feels like progress.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs. Bank ranking and number of ATMs according to U.S. News and World Report 2023. Chime checking account required.
You know, Mark, you know that feeling when fall hits and suddenly life goes from lazy summer evenings, classic Sessler, to back-to-back everything between new routines, shorter days, and trying to eat something other than cereal for dinner. It can get chaotic, and that's why we love Factor.
I totally get it. They're chef prepped, Dietitian-approved meals make it so easy to stay on track and actually enjoy something comforting and delicious. No matter how busy things get, Factor's got more variety than ever. You can now choose from a wider selection of weekly meals, including premium seafood options like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. They've also added GLP-1 friendly meals and Mediterranean diet options, Dan, packed with protein and good-for-you fats. And for the first time, they're introducing Asian-inspired dishes, about time, influenced by China, Thailand, and more, so every meal feels like a mini culinary adventure.
I love it. We use Factor in our house. We are both parents are working. It's busy. My wife needs all the help she can get in the kitchen. I do a lot of grilling outside, but now we can kind of do a little hybrid thing, and Factor kind of fills in the gaps. It's been such a lifesaver for us. And it tastes good, and it gets the variety. And the kids, shut up, kids. You'll eat what we give you. But sometimes we keep giving them the same thing, so you kind of understand in the back of your mind, I mean, how many times are they going to have the same 3 or 4 meals? No, Factor has changed all that. So very good stuff.
Nope, good parenting. Eat smart at factormeals.com/HTC50 off.
Shut up, kids!
And use code HTC50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Hello. That's code HTC50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor.
Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase.
All right, we are back. Now, we spin forward. It's been a bit of a newsy day in our league. Let's do some, news.
You spin on me, so it's up. I'm going to get around football after that. Respectfully.
I get it. Jalen Ramsey gets ejected in an important game for the Steelers because Jamar Chase spit on his chest. What is this? This is the year of spitting, Mark. First, it was Jalen Carter in the season opener with 1 trillion people watching on Thursday night, getting ejected before the first play of game for spitting on Dak Prescott, as I recall, or spitting at his feet. I don't remember. And no, he spat on Dak Prescott after Dak spit near Jalen Carter.
Correct.
And now you have this. A situation. Jamar Chase is now suspended, and we kind of called this on the Sunday show that precedent had already been set through Jalen Carter, who was essentially suspended without pay for his deed. Once it was clear based on the video, and I think we're showing it here if you want to check it out on YouTube. Once it was clear that's what Chase had done with Ramsey, a suspension had to be coming, and it has. So he is suspended for week 12. He is appealing the suspension, but don't hold your breath on that.
Yeah, I don't think that appeal is going to carry much weight. I mean, I don't know. I feel like when these things happen, there's a lot of verbiage and spite and anger that are happening between players that we don't see until we see the final moment that we're all talking about. So I'm not sure what else happened here, but the Bengals, you're hanging on by a thread. You are the best player on the Bengals. Their season depends on your availability, and you've removed your availability, and you now play the Patriots. So barring something unforeseen or a Flacco miracle involving other people, your season's over. And it doesn't really matter if Joe Burrow comes back if you keep losing games. And this was the perfect setup to fall off a cliff.
It's a stupid, selfish, short-sighted act by Chase. He deserves the suspension. Anybody that don't spit on people, it's just like, what is it? It's so childish and silly and gross. And I know what it's supposed to be. It's like a get the F out of my face, and then it's kind of a disrespectful gesture, but just be smarter. There's a lot of cameras everywhere, especially if you're Jamar Chase, especially if you're Jalen Carter, and you're jawing with a potential future Hall of Famer in Jalen Ramsey. Just keep your shit together. What a mess. And congratulations, Patriots fans. I just feel like everything is coming up New England in this bounce back season after the long, dark winter of about half a decade. So they'll roll to another win, and eventually they'll, have 2 weeks in a row where they beat somebody that's worth a damn. In other news, the Falcons could be without Michael Penix for the rest of the season. He is headed to injured reserve after aggravating a bone bruise and knee sprain from earlier in the season. That, according to NFL media, he's got damage to his ACL as well, Sessy. And that could mean he needs to get that done. And that sucks. And Kirk Cousins, who has struggled in limited duty this year, could be taking it home for the Falcons, who, I don't know. All right, I'll spin this positive, Mark. Like, Falcons fans might not want to hear this, but you've already lost 5 in a row. Might as well enter the derby for the top 5 picks at this point, because the season's over. Oh, wait a second.
Well, they lost their pick to the Rams. That's the killer here. That's the reverse jackpot. Like, the Rams look like masterminds at this point.
Geniuses. They traded. That's right. They traded late first round pick, right? What they thought was going to be a late first round pick, at least, to the Rams to move up and get that second pass rusher, which has been on net balance positive for Falcons because their pass rush has been much better this season. But now they're going to go like 4-13 potentially. Yeah. And they're going to hand over like a top 7 pick. Oh, Maron.
You've been on this beat, but the Falcons season has spun into the eye of the tornado, and the rest of the tornado is about to come. Drake London also suffered a PCL sprain. I think one of the biggest issues inside of all of this, win or loss record, is that Michael Penix, we only saw a few games from him last year. It's been hot or cold this year. It's like, and now you lose what would be 8 more starts to find out if this is your quarterback or not, if he's the guy. And there is weird and mysterious. I don't mean to keep calling all these teams weird, but they are left with a lot of unanswered questions. And, it's like Kirk Cousins can't play at this point. Michael Penix was needing a lot more experience and a lot more playing time to find out who they were, because when they've been good, they've been watchable. But when they've been bad, they've been really a strange team that probably will lose their coach. So the Falcons are we're at this point, breaking news for some of these teams is they are leaving us. Yeah, and the Falcons are leaving us. Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, I know you caught yourself there. Another team to me that is not weird, that is not mysterious. They stink, and they don't have a good head coach. And the young quarterback, is very much. It's open for debate whether he's a difference maker. But they have skill players. They have special players. It could be a good job if it is indeed the end of the road for Raheem Morris. And if it's not the end of the road and he comes back and they just fire the offensive coordinator, who's been a mess, Robinson, which that's probably what they'll do unless this thing gets really ugly. They're going to be tied for Penix for another year. But, given the timing of this injury, as we're edging into late November, if he doesn't get the surgery till December, it could really affect the offseason plans. The Falcons, you guys are so annoying. And when they made that trade with the Rams, everyone was scratching their head. Because it just felt like a big price to pay to get back into the first round. And look at you now. You got to do the George Costanza thing. You just got to be bizarro. Do the opposite of what you think you should do. Because whenever you think you've outsmarted the league, you're just one of those teams. Take it from me. I'm a Jets fan. Don't think you're smart. You're not. And what a bad one
year
quick thing is Raheem Morris came from the Rams. So I think he was trying to tussle with the way that they do things, which is they'll sell the farm to get the one player they want. And it did kind of work from the one player standpoint, but in no other way. And it's now you're sitting on a big old pile of trash.
This is a team that, like I said, they have a pretty good roster. Mm-hmm. Certainly a roster that could be improved in places, but they're not like the team I would put at the highest up that was they absolutely can't forfeit a first round pick, especially if they believe they got value out of it in terms of the return. But I don't know. It just seems like everything since 28-3, everything for the most part that this team touches turns to stone. shout out Falcons fans. I don't say this to be a jerk. I think you guys get it too. It's just a frustrating experience, and that's a bummer for Penix, who was actually playing really well when he got hurt on Sunday. All right. You mentioned London, PCL sprain. By the way, Aaron Rodgers, this from Rap Sheet. He had tests Monday on that wrist. There were some reports that it was a slight fracture, I believe is what they called it, Mark, potentially. But the tests Monday will determine when they get, I guess, the results, whether he can grip a football and whether he's going to potentially risk further injury by playing. And it's described as 50-50 that he might even play on Sunday. So I guess best case scenario there for the Steelers.
That's a very, that division is a bizarro world. I think Mason Rudolph probably can come in and win you a game as a backup. But the Rodgers thing, it's like just the sustainable overall long-term health of him. And when we talk about him gripping a football, I don't know. It feels like the kind of injury we'll see, but like you might find out he's out for longer than we think. It's not he's like a spry young body healing quicker than we would expect.
He's a tough dude, though. Like I would not be surprised at all if he plays. Now, whether he's able to play the guitar, like one of these guitars. Maybe I'll play Glycerine at the end of the show.
You should. Does he believe in guitars? We don't know what he like, where his theories are on anything. On anything, you know.
Aaron Rodgers, I'm sure he has taken out many an acoustic guitar to woo like his invisible wife, or any number of past flames. You know, he's playing Anna Begins by Counting Crows. You know what I mean? Like,
if he can do that, it improves my feelings about him off the field to some degree if he's going to play Anna Begins. But
and Anna begins to change her mind, and every time she sneezes, I believe it's love. And
you do have like 7 guitars behind you. What happens at this compound?
I was teeing you up to finish the Durrett's lyric there. And every time she sneezes, I believe it's love. And I'm not ready for this sort of thing. Well, Sessler, I thought you were a Crow's head.
I enjoy the Counting Crows. We went to a Counting Crows concert last.
You don't know? Did you know those lyrics, Justin? You know thousands of lyrics.
I was letting you control that. So
I do not. I've never got into the Crows, and I'm also scared, Dan, that you're going to get us a copyright flag on this now.
It was so dead on. It was so melodious that it's like, all the bots are streaming towards our show. Finally in the news, Giants number 3 pick, Abdul Carter, was benched for the first possession on Sunday after missing a team walkthrough earlier in the week because he was asleep at the facility, per Dan Dugan. Oh, boy. There's some reporting leaking out. By the way, Carter was drafted as a generational talent. What is it, out of UNC, Gravy?
Penn State,
excuse me. Top 3 pick, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Yeah.
And being late to meetings has been an issue during Carter's rookie season, something former coach Brian Daboll often let slide, as per the Duggan reporting. Carter responds to reports on social media. When the hate don't work, they start telling lies, in a now deleted tweet. My only takeaway from this, Ceci, is like, just shut up.
Yeah.
You fell asleep in the meeting. There's a reason. Nobody's framing you. And now that it's getting reported, don't do this thing like when the hate don't work, they start telling lies. Like if you ain't got haters, you ain't popping type shit.
If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping.
Bro, you're not being a professional. You're young. You can learn from this. But how about, I got an idea. Mark, I have an idea.
Sure.
Accountability.
Yeah. Well, that's a far-fetched concept. The drifting off. You're drifting off. You're a little tired. It made me think of when I lived in Boulder many years ago. I lived in a farmhouse with like 6 other
This old
youths.
yarn.
Yeah, well, it's not. This is a different aspect of it. But I had a friend that I didn't have a car, so like we decided to get a temp jobs at a mall during Christmas season where they our job was to unpack boxes and take pillows out in like a Macy's type place or a Nordstrom's or something. And this guy was a character, and like he knew that I'd be reliable. Typical old story. And like there was a back room with a ladder that led to a loft filled with hundreds of pillows and blankets that were not out on the floor to be bought. And he'd go up there and sleep. He'd smoke like 3 cigarettes and go sleep for 2 hours while I worked.
Probably more than cigarettes. Probably more than just tobacco in those, I would think.
There was more than tobacco. Justin would know. So I'm just saying, like, we all have friends that sleep on the job, and
okay. I guess I'll just throw in there, Mark, that I'm sure you were making about $5 an hour at that time for that job. Abdul Carter signed a 4-year, $45.255 million rookie contract, which was fully guaranteed. It includes
he should stay awake.
$29.55 million signing bonus. You should probably stay awake. Yeah.
Where do you think in the building he's sleeping? I think that's another interesting. I just want to know more. I want to get Connor on this. Like,
I actually saw a report that the sleeping stuff happened in the training area. Like, I would buy that he's getting a massage after a workout or something, and he dozed off maybe, and then somebody
took
that
road. We don't need to go down.
Somebody took it and ran it the wrong way, and now he's coming out tweeting it's a lie. Like, I did fall asleep, but it wasn't in a team meeting. But
ownership.
It's hard to know where this is all going.
Ownership, accountability.
Agreed.
Yeah. Don't sleep at the team facility.
Justin is pro millionaire napping on
it's
job.
Not. It's also, according to the reporting, Justin, not the first time, unless he's taking a little tiger snooze while he's getting his hamstring worked on by the trainer. But that doesn't sound like what's been happening here. I mean,
I agree, and I think ultimately, as like, you can sort this out in the building with your coaches, with your teammates, and get to the bottom of who's right, who's wrong. But to the media and the public, as a player, you just have to say everything is your fault all the time. That's just what a player talking to the media, no matter if it's falling asleep or throwing an interception or whatever, like, as a player, you should just always say, yeah, it's my fault. That's what you should do.
Yeah, but it's also like just be real and be accountable. That's all. Like, you don't have to fall on a grenade. It's just like, I messed up and I won't do it again, because I understand I'm a vital part of this organization and its hope to turn around its fortunes and be taken seriously after years in the swamps of Jersey. And instead, I'm sending out a tweet: when the hate don't work, they start telling lies. Okay.
Right. That lever pull was unneeded. But
you know what? It's very late in New York. I don't have time for that bullshit. You know what I mean? All right, that's what's happening in the news. Let's take a break, and then we'll check in on the power rankings.
You know, I bought a lot of glasses over the years, and I used to think you had to choose between style, comfort, or price. Turns out you don't. Warby Parker changed all that. They make every frame with premium materials, so everything feels sturdy and looks sharp. Their in-house designs come in tons of colors, tons, and fits, which means there's a pair that actually flatters you. And with over 300 stores across the US and Canada, you can get styled by their friendly advisors or shop online from home, Dan.
Oh, I love that. I don't like leaving the house. And Warby Parker glasses start at just $95, including prescription lenses with anti-reflective, scratch-resistant coatings. Eye exams start at $85, and you could save 15% when you grab 2 or more pairs. Free shipping, free 30-day returns. It's basically risk-free. I picked up a pair of the Elio sunglasses, and I'll tell you what. And I'm very particular about my sunglasses, because I don't want to. Wrong pair of sunglasses on my face, I look terrible. I just look like a monster. It's got to be the right fit. And Warby Parker, they nail it with all the options they give you.
Those Elios look good on you. Warby Parker has over 300 plus locations.
Thank you.
To help you find your next pair of glasses, you can also head over to warbyparker.com/HTC right now to try on any pair virtually. That's warbyparker.com/HTC, warbyparker.com/HTC.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that compliment.
You're welcome.
What's good, y'all? It's Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP, Sagmaster, and now your host of Free Range. This is where NFL meets real talk. Every week, I'm bringing you inside the game, from locker room stories to league-wide headlines. You want football IQ, locker room insight, and real conversations with the people shaping the league? Welcome to Free Range with Von Miller, where nothing is off limits and every down counts. New episodes every Wednesday. Listen and follow Free Range with me, Von Miller, wherever you get your podcasts.
Deborah had to have surgery.
I had hip surgery in November of 2024.
Her United Healthcare nurse, Crystal, checked on her.
We do a routine call after surgery, and I could tell that she was struggling.
Deborah needed help.
My infection markers were through the roof.
And Crystal knew what to do.
I called the hospital and said she's coming in.
And got Deborah the help she needed.
Crystal and United Healthcare saved my life.
Hear more stories like Deborah's at uhc.com. Benefits, features, and/or devices vary by plan area. Limitation and exclusions apply.
Unless you've got power!
Farbuck.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Bigger powers, yeah!
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
Category orange incident.
The power behind the power.
Wow, you're playing with power.
According to the Dan Hanzus power ranking.
Yes, the official power rankings of Record. Heed the call. This is what most people are here for, Mark. They want to know where their team comes down as we enter the, really, what I see is the home stretch of the 2025 regular season.
It is, and it's also, the shared exercise is how do we rank the many canceled individuals in our lead-up highlight film there? Like, there are some concerning individuals. Thank you, Justin, for including them.
Yes. Old Justin, innocent until proven guilty. Graver.
I remember when Dan and I were building that out, I said, like, should we avoid the Kevin Spacey or include the Kevin Spacey? And we decided it's our show. We're going to include it because it doesn't matter, ultimately.
It's our show.
It's funny, so why not?
All right, here we go. Let's get into it. As I prepare to play Glycerine to end the show. The 1996 Bush Classic. You know, if only you could play guitar and look like Gavin Rossdale. I mean, it's unfair, Mark, how it works out in society.
Yes, well, you checked all boxes if that were the case.
All right, let's get into it. Tier 1. We have stability atop the power rankings. Thank you, LA Rams, for closing out that game against the Rams. Or I guess we should say thank you to Jason Myers, the kicker, for the Seahawks, who was unable to steal that game. So the Rams take a lead in the NFC West by themselves, and as a result, they stay at number 1. And it's also a what, Justin? Connect 4.
Connect 4.
I don't agree
nice.
with it. I still don't know about the sound effect, but sure.
The Eagles are at number 2 in the power rankings. They were pretty much aligned on this one too. Dan, Mark, and Connor all have them at 2. Justin at 3. That's up 3 spots to number 2 after they really did a number on the Lions on Sunday Night Football. The Patriots, they take care of business against the Jets on Thursday Night Football, up 1 spot to 3. The Bills, they put up a ton of points with Josh Allen scoring 6 touchdowns against Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. They move up 3 spots to number 4. And the Seahawks, I was wondering where everybody would come down to the Seahawks. Oh my God, Graver. I
have a major bone to pick with you guys, but go read it off first.
Okay, I will read it off. We have the Seahawks down 3 spots to 5. I had the Seahawks at 8. I had some real concerns about Darnold, as I spoke about that on the Sunday show. And as a result, I dropped them to 8. Sessler obviously is in a similar boat, I think, because he also had him at 8. Connor dropped him to 4. Justin has them up to 2 or left them at 2. How you have them at 2 based off how that quarterback played? That is the most important position in sports, Gravy.
Yeah, but even with Darnold having his by far worst game of the season with 4 interceptions, they were a field goal attempt away from knocking off our unanimous number 1 team. They play the number 1 team as close as you can possibly play a team. A field goal at the horn to decide it. Goes in or goes out. Just changes. If that field goal goes in, are you guys moving the Seahawks down to 8?
Yep.
It's a strong argument, but there's just this, to Dan's point, there's a lingering concern about like weekly possibility of an implosion based on turnovers, which has been a concern for 3 weeks.
We also can't play that what if game. What if he makes it? Because he didn't. And we can go through half these teams and say something about week 10, week 11. So I get it, Justin. You're frustrated, but this is not. It's not about the standings. It's not about the fact that they almost did win despite playing really badly. I dropped them because I think it's fair to have questions about whether the offense is going to rise to the occasion in the biggest of all spots in January. But they're also in the top 5 of the power rankings. So it's like, it's okay. I think this is a perfectly okay spot for them to be.
Yeah, they weren't sabotaged.
I don't have a problem with them being at 5, but they're at 5 because of where me and Connor ranked them. If this was the Dan and Mark power rankings, they'd be at 8. So that would be a little low. You obviously don't.
I don't think. I think they'd be in tier 1. Yeah, I just don't know how any man in his right mind, if he's not addled by THC consumption, can say the Philadelphia Eagles, after what we've seen from them in the last couple of weeks, should be behind the Seahawks after what we saw from their offense on Sunday. That surprises me, but it's okay. I'm not going to go crazy about it.
They're think number 5. Seahawks Eagles is going to be a phenomenal playoff game when we get that in January, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds.
And it's okay if you're it's okay if you're THC addled, Justin. But just to let you know, it's we support you.
I mean, I can't believe I have to be critical of Sam Darnold on the show now, but how do you think Sam Darnold's going to do against that Philadelphia Eagles pass rush in January?
I hear you guys on the Darnold concerns, but I think Seattle is such a good team around him, especially on defense, and with Jackson Smith and Jigba playing out of his mind this season, and Mike McDonald being a really good coach, and Clint Kubiak being a really good offensive coordinator, that they can, obviously it didn't work in this game, but this is a great experience for that whole brain trust to go through in the regular season so that when they get to the playoffs, they can figure it out.
Brain trust.
I just feel like that's a little too strong, buddy. 2's a little too strong. Maybe 8's a little too harsh, but you're just as wrong as us. I think
we balance each other out.
I think that's why the power rankings are perfect and why Farbuck won't say anything, because number 5 is where they should be.
Farbuck.
The Denver Broncos are up 2 spots to number 6 after another great performance in taking down the Chiefs. That was such an important win for that franchise, to take down Kansas City and really take a stranglehold of the AFC West. The Lions dropped all the way down to number 7. Sessy is a little higher on them coming out of this game. He has them at number 4. I got to say, Sessy, I think that's a little too kind to Detroit, because they are now starting to pile up the losses a little bit. I think they're up to 4 losses now, and I just don't like quarterbacks that look the way the quarterback looked in this game, and knowing that teams like the Eagles, with pass rushes like the Eagles, teams like the Rams, teams like the Seattle Seahawks are the teams that are going to be waiting for them potentially in a road matchup in the playoffs.
You are right about the road part of that. Like, that is a concern, and I think that was a showcase of this past weekend. But I look at, like, and I know Broncos fans have to be annoyed with us in general, but like, I think they beat the Broncos.
Not me. Why would they be mad at me?
Not at you, but at others that, like, they're sitting down at 6. I think they can knock off the teams above them in this list in the right environment. But you're right. I think that, like, they're a dome team, and I've typically never been a big proponent of dome teams, but if they get a chance, if they can go on a streak and play at home, I think they can beat anyone in the NFL.
Aren't you at all concerned now that they've lost 4 of their 10 games, and they've had a couple of tough ones along the way? Like, this,
I'm not overly concerned. Yeah. I'm not overly concerned with the record. So I get the question, but I'm not overly. Well, then, I mean, we should be concerned with, like, what the Bills have done too. Like, they've got a couple stinkers on their resume. So I don't know how to separate all this. Like, there's some of these teams have been
Bills biased
against them. You think I am?
I don't think you like the Bills. The number 8 team is the Colts, on their bye, down 2 spots. Don't believe in this. This is too much of a drop for a team that did not play on Sunday, but what are you going to do? Graver's got the Seattle Seahawks at number 2, so it makes sense. On to tier 2, we have the Packers up 4 spots. This feels a little bit rich. Makes sense to me. This is the stuff that gets me crazy, Justin. I'm not good at math. I had him at 12. Mark has him at 10. Connor has him at 11. You had him at 10, and they're at number 9.
Math-wise, that is blowing my mind. But yeah,
it's because the Chiefs should be. If this was again to remove someone and reassess, if this was the Dan, Mark, and Justin rankings, the Chiefs would be 9 and the Packers would be 10. But if you'll direct your eye to where Connor has the Chiefs, it's pulling them down, which pushes Green Bay up.
Okay, I got you now. The Chiefs come in at number 10. I have it nailed, per usual, at 10. Mark doing a nice job here at 9. Justin as well at 9. Connor making a statement, as he's wont to do, has them all the way down to 15.
That's why we love Connor.
And as a result, they fall behind the Packers. And we'll hear, I'm sure, from Connor on this later in the week. Number 11, the Niners up 3 spots as they start to get healthy and lit up the Cardinals. Number 12 is the Bucks, who have flopped in an audition against 2 AFC East contenders the last 2 weeks. Obviously, the injuries have really hurt them. They're down 1 spot to 12. The Ravens sit in the twilight zone. Interesting. On a 4-game winning streak. But it's not like they've been overwhelming, Mark, in this. I know that's part of the reason you're annoyed, including against the Browns. Right. God bless Shedeur Sanders. All of Baltimore rejoices that he got in the game and crapped his pants. But even with these 4 wins, it hasn't been a dominant 4 wins that make you think the Ravens are an elite team. They still have a lot of room to grow.
They're the perfect number 13 team.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. See, you brought me all the way around, Mark, with one line. At 14, we have the Bears, who Bears fans aren't going to like this. The Bears fans probably think, oh, look, we're proving that we're the team of destiny. Put us in the top 10. No, not yet. We're still kind of like, whatever, right? That's where we're at, Justin. We're kind of like, whatever.
Not Connor.
I tried to move them up, and then when I originally punched in a higher number, and then I started looking at the other teams, and I was like, I still feel a little bit better about the Ravens, the Bucks, the Niners. So it is what it is. Keep winning, and you'll keep going up.
Look at Connor,
just
though.
like the Broncos,
Connor has
just like the Patriots. Yeah.
Connor and I were in lockstep on the Chargers. I thought the Chargers were the perfect Twilight Zone team because, after getting absolutely curb stomped by the Jaguars, it was like, who are you guys? Like, I'm just going to stick you in 13 and forget about you for a week. But Mark, you were much harder on them, have them all the way down at 17, and Justin had him at 15. So they dropped 5 spots after a really ugly showing on the road in Jacksonville. And yet no one is going to be happy because Jaguars fans will be like, how can we absolutely destroy the Chargers and still be behind them in the power rankings? I get it. But deal with it. You're still up 5 spots, and you're in tier 2 now. So maybe just be happy that that's the reality, Mark.
I alone have the Jaguars ranked above the Chargers. So
yeah,
if you live in that part of the country, don't come at me. Target the other 3 individuals on the show, please. How about that? I mean,
somewhere a tear is going down the cheek of Fred Durst. I love that guy, Sessler. Yeah. Tier 3.
Concerned about the Chargers.
I mean, I would be after that game. Tier 3, the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 17. Yes, they got the win against the Bengals, but the old man quarterback is hurt. Mason Rudolph's his backup, and in general, they do feel like a number 17 team. That's fair. The Cowboys, they've been yo-yoing up and down these power rankings all year. It happens again. They're up 4 spots to number 18. Zuzzer has it locked in again. I had him at 18. Mark 16. Connor 19. Justin 20. The Texans are down 2 spots. The Texans won, and yet they dropped 2 spots to 19. I get it, but that doesn't seem right. Sessler has him at 20. Connor 21. Me and Justin at 17. They're at 19. Good job, Justin. You nailed it. The Carolina Panthers, number 20. I had them at 20. Look at this. Just like the guide. Follow the tugboat. I'll take you into the port, Ceci.
Well, yeah, the entire show is based around the concept of that. I understand what's happening here.
You had him at 19, and Connor, Justin has him at 18. So Panthers fans are like, where's the respect for us? We're kind of sneaky doing some things. Our QB just threw for like 7,000 yards, whatever. We'll see. We'll check in another week. The Vikings continue to fall, even though 9 is playing. He's not playing well, so he's at 21. I had him at 21. The Dolphins at 22. They are slowly working their way up our power rankings and even the AFC playoff standings, up 1 spot to 22. The Falcons, meanwhile, are going the opposite direction. They're down 4 more spots to 23 and now don't have their quarterback. It's getting late early for the Falcons. And the Bengals stay exactly where they are at 24 after another tough defeat. Finally, the tier you don't want to be in. Tier 4. The G-Men fight hard against the Packers, and we give them some pop for that, up 2 spots to number 25. The Cardinals keep losing, sloppy, undisciplined, unfocused, unwatchable.
Yeah.
What did they have? How many? 14 penalties on Sunday?
Wasn't it 16 or 17?
Get out of my life.
It was a franchise record 16 or 7. I think 17 penalties, if I'm not mistaken.
Jacoby Brissett also set the NFL record for
So
most
dope.
completions in a game.
So dope.
What?
So
There's
dope.
so many other
Dope
things
as
you could
hell.
watch on
It's
television.
dope as hell. That's dope as hell. A lot of
Dope as
completions.
hell.
It's dope as hell. You know what I like? I like having Trey McBride on my fantasy team because his dickbag team is always throwing the ball like crazy because they're always getting beat. So there's at least one positive. The Commanders, yeah, it's a lost season, down to 27. The Jets, oh, baby. We lose but move up a spot to number 28. I had that.
If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping.
Look right.
Yeah,
your Jets.
exactly, Bobby Saleh. Exactly. Sessler, for some reason, has the Jets at 25.
I think
God
they're
bless
growing.
you.
They're developing.
Sure they are. Number 29, we have the Saints move up 1 spot on their bye. The Brownies, they fight hard against the Ravens, up 1 spot to 30. We're all in agreement that we're seeing enough of the Las Vegas Raiders. I wonder what Tom Brady thinks about all this. I wonder if that's the one secret to all this. Like, what will Tom Brady do?
Well, we've
offseason?
somehow, like, our concern over trade secrets and what he's learning that would craft an advantage for the Raiders. That stopped being a talking point.
Should have traded Geno to the Vikings. We would have already been on the path to 2026.
I would trade
But
Geno to like a
no.
low-level IBM office in like Hackensack, New Jersey, for a bag of spoons at this point. So
He would be. I feel like he would be helpful in team meetings. Good leader. And congratulations, Justin. The Titans stay at 32. Connect 4.
Our only
All
two
right.
Connect 4s were number 1 and number 32. We got
they're
the
both
top
very
and
clear.
the bottom nailed down, baby.
How about that? Couple of quick announcements. Number 1, we got Shecky back on the show. Dave Damashek rejoins us on Wednesday for an episode that was probably my favorite episode of the first year of Heed the Call, when we built a Thanksgiving Day table of NFL figures. So you know what you do when you hit on some box office magic, Mark. You bring back a sequel. So that's what we'll do with Sheck on Wednesday.
Sheck is probably, if I think of any media figure that we've ever worked with and a friend, like very Thanksgiving oriented. He did a lot of pie-offs and, celebratory holiday things. So it's the perfect time to bring him back and find out his thoughts. What's his table going to be? We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what's Sessler going to bring to the table? Connor's going to join us on a Wednesday show because it's a special occasion, and we'll get that table filled up for 25 for the turkey and stuffing and all that other good stuff, the cranberry sauce, the mashed potatoes, the green beans, the mac and cheese, all that pumpkin pie, My mom used to make some coconut or like a custard pie that was really good. And then
nice.
she'd set out a little like ceramic turkey. Can I get my music on this one? My mom would set out at the end of the meal. Debbie would set out a ceramic turkey dish and filled it with those little green Andes chocolates.
Right.
As kind of like maybe for your coffee, you have your coffee and you drink you have a little Andes chocolate. It's like end of the meal.
Yeah.
So who will be the Andes chocolate of the table? We'll see.
I never had a mother or father, so I never celebrated a holiday. So it's nice to hear about how you did.
I believe there's a Edward and Deborah Sessler.
Well,
Becky's.
If there is, that would be it. I have a father named Edward and a mother named Barbara. So if there's a Deborah involved, that would be talk about a breaking news strip. But yeah.
But do you think your parents would appreciate you coming on a highly popular podcast and insinuating that you grew up without parents?
Yes.
Yeah. I think they would say, Mark, for the first time, we're disappointed in you.
You're like, get your head on straight. Look alive.
Check on Wednesday. Also, I'm going to check in right now. We have put the challenge out there to the audience. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. And when we do, the 30K challenge has told, and then Connor Orr will tell his story, spilling tea on the evil Sean Payton. So make sure you get us to 30K. Subscribe, tell your friends, set up a secondary account. But don't forget to download the show and listen to the audio version of it to fulfill other various contractual obligations connected to Mark and myself, and indirectly Justin and Connor getting paid. So let's try to balance that one out. And
not bad indirectly.
And finally, a big announcement over on the Patreon, patreon.com/heedthecall. Marc Sessler's Untitled Love Line project will be launching next month.
Soon. Pretty soon.
Yes, that's enough. Cessy and his beautiful, wonderful, sophisticated fiance, Billy Wolf, will be teaming up on the Patreon, giving out advice on love and lust and relationships and joy and pain and everything in between. Yes, Untitled Sessler Love Line project. I was thinking, how about Heed the Love? How does that sound?
Well, yeah, that was one of the questions. Can I not just call it Love Lines if it's behind a paywall, or do I get dinged? Probably get dinged by a large corporation for that.
You're a creative guy, buddy. I think we could come up with a show title that doesn't just rip off the property that you're already ripping off. You know what I mean? We don't need a double rip off. I think that's where we get into a little double jeopardy in the copyright world. You know?
It's a fair point. We're workshopping. Justin and I are working behind the scenes on some it will involve the listeners because you'll have a chance to ask those questions
just know that that's coming, and we'll bring it up on a future show. We'll get an email or some way for people to send in video submissions or just questions that Mark and Billy can together help solve any problems or
at
mysteries.
Least weigh in. I don't know. We'll solve some problems. We'll weigh in on others.
You could create others as
we could inflame other scenarios. Sure.
So there you go. Patreon's got all sorts of great content always coming, and that is coming down the pike. So the Untitled Love Line project with Marc Sessler. Heed the Love. I like Heed the Love.
I kind of do too. That you might have. You're a good brander. I think you might have just hit it.
All right. Heed the Love debuts next month on the Patreon. Keep an eye on it. And maybe, Justin, throw a little email for people to go start sending in their video and email submissions.
I mean, you can send them to the show, heedthecallfootballshow@gmail.com, but maybe in the subject line or perhaps somewhere in the body of said email, you could mention that this is for Heed the Love and that you need Mark and Billy's advice on dating or anything, I guess.
In the body.
Yeah, in the body. And if you seriously have not signed up for the Patreon, and I just told you that that's coming down the pike, Sessler giving out advice on love and lust, I don't know what's going to hook you guys. But so there you go. Right. Coming up soon. All right. Good stuff. We'll see you in a couple days with Damashek building out that Thanksgiving table. And now we'll end the show with me performing the 1996 Bush power ballad hit, Glycerine.
Yummy.
1, 2,
love it.
3, 4. Actually, copyright issues would that would entail, so we're going to have to hold that maybe for the Patreon. Till next time, you know what you got to do. Heed the call.
Lowe's knows that saving is always top of mind, especially this season. That's why we've picked some great deals for early Black Friday. Get free select DeWalt, Cobalt, or Craftsman tools when you buy a select battery or combo kit. More tools? Why not? Plus, we've got select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees starting at $59.98 because it's never too early to think Christmas. Get Black Friday prices without the crowds. Lowe's, we help, you save. While supplies last, selection varies by location.
250 years ago, the United States Postal Service made a promise to bind the nation, connecting families, friends, and businesses near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. Because it's about more than just gifts and cards, it's the peace of mind knowing your love will arrive reliably and affordably. That's why they're building a better network to meet your needs this season. Working around the clock to ensure timely deliveries, offering easy and affordable ways to ship, and providing everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer, from stamps to packages. This holiday season, trust the United States Postal Service to carry your most precious deliveries. Visit USPS.com/holidays to find tools and tips to help you ship with confidence. The United States Postal Service, delivering since 1775.